Season 13, Forces in Motion, Physics in Necrotic World, Episode 84, Impulse. Welcome, strangers. Force multiplied by time is equal to change in momentum, which is equal to mass multiplied by final velocity times initial velocity, with the velocities being in brackets, which is equal to mass multiplied by final velocity minus mass multiplied by initial velocity. Some could say I'm an impulsive person, more or less. I would agree. That's true. I study things that others probably wouldn't, just to jump to something else, based on a connection that plays in my mind. You know that music, I think, always has a sort of impulsive undertone to it. If you don't just get out there and try to connect the pieces of the puzzle pieces, you could live your whole life not knowing that the puzzle even exists. So I think that there's a joy, even in fitting two seemingly random concepts together, even if it's forcibly, because they will join together, because that's how the world works, that's how the universe works. Everything connects, everything has a place, you know? Even if never in my lifetime the puzzle I want to finish could ever be seen by myself, trying is worthwhile. So today I went to the Remembrance Day Memorial Service with my local Beavers and Cubs group. I mean, I'm not a member of a scouting organisation, but I volunteer, so there I was in my new musty green blazer. It was a cute blazer. I just bought it yesterday because I have a sixth form taster day next week, so that's that. The uniform I bought feels good, but it is quite eccentric. I got it all for about 20 quid because I proper bargain hunted for something that no one else would probably wear, and something that really screams Rimona. So I bought it yesterday. I got navy trousers, which I already had the navy trousers. So I actually bought musty green blazer, orange shirt, musty green waistcoat, and actually I could wear boots or just my normal black school shoes. Anyways, change in momentum is equal to force multiplied by change in time. The Remembrance service was good. It was a multi-phase service. It was very interesting. I admire how they set this up every year and pay respects this way. Guys, do wear a poppy if you wish to show your support and what it means to you. To me, a poppy makes me think of Wilfred Owen, who wrote poems after getting shell shock, so PTSD. Seifert Sassoon was a friend of his who helped encourage him to write poetry in hopes of alleviating some of his tension and having a bit of never again should this happen. When I think of that, I also think of William Wordsworth, who walked across the hills in Lake District and rambled to himself, writing poetry about the natural world, which practically adopted him. That line of thinking also ends with, what a great sacrifice that was. It is a strange situation to think about, not some passing lecture that you hear once a year, you know? They worked so hard to end the war and bring peace. Also, I think of Alan Turing and the members of Bletchley Park and the cracking of the Enigma machine. I think of Heisenberg and Oppenheimer and Dirac. But also I think of the ordinary men and women, the ordinary people, and how their lives were changing so much in such a relatively short piece of human history. I mean, human history in general is already pretty short because we've only existed for so long. But world wars were tiny piece of history, right? But they had such a big impact on how life as we know it, you know? What I have is what many missed. What I don't have is what many got. They say I'm fixated on physics, but it's not really physics, is it? That's what they say. They say, it's more of a mental problem. But come on, I just want to be able to not only hear the music, but also be able to play the music. So, in these recordings, this podcast overall, is like a time capsule in that it shows how a teenager like me, lived and what it means to be Rimona. It's a lot of wow, but also pity about the Royal British Legion situation. It's sad, but at the same time, it's a great sacrifice they made. So it was good for the future, our future. So I'm very thankful for that. And also, that clothing choice that I was thinking about? It just came in my head because, I was thinking about impulse and what it means to be impulsive and what an impulse is. Is it just a generated force? Is it just an application of a force that leads to a change of momentum, or is it more than that? Because impulse, it's basically semantics now. It's just what am I thinking? That clothing choice is like my uniform of an alter ego, a theoretical physicist in a necrotic world. I love that. I absolutely love it. See you next time at Physics in the Necrotic World. This is your host, Rimona Christian, R out.